Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm starting a bit of a project here, and I didn't think it was going to be a project, but I got a hold of this project motor, 1963 Mercury 9.9, and this is a freshwater motor out of Idaho. And the gentleman said that it only ran on one cylinder and wasn't pumping water. And I said, okay, no problem. It's probably just a coil. We're cleaning the points, and we'll have both cylinders working. And of course, water pump is fairly easy. And then, if nothing else, it'll be a parts motor. But when I really started looking at this motor and what it looks like and so forth, I just couldn't stand to have this a parts motor. So I wanted to see what the problem was with this. We're running on one cylinder business, and unfortunately I have some bad news, but we're going to try to correct this. So let me take the top off here. And here's what we have. So the first thing I did, and the first thing I crossed my fingers for, that we were missing spark out of the top cylinder, and the top generally has a little brown marker on it. So unfortunately, both spark plugs had super good spark. They were jumping like an ½ inch onto the block. So that was the bad news. And then I started checking for compression, and on the bottom hole, it actually sucks your finger in. It's awesome compression. And as a caveat, before I started this process, I started it up, and the thing started up on one cylinder, half a pole, after sitting for 10 years. So we have one good cylinder here, which has great compression. The top one has no compression whatsoever. Your finger, you don't even feel it when you turn. And then old mechanics are going to see what I saw right away, and you see the discoloration. Here's basically what it should look like, and here's what we have. And so that tells me that this engine has been cooked at least once in its life. It got so hot that it burnt the paint, and that's generally not a good qualifier for an engine that we're going to keep and get running. So what I did is I did some heat cycles. I heated up the cylinders, PB blaster, cooled down, heated it back up, and actually got to the point where I did have a little bit of compression on my finger, but it was making a really weird noise. And I looked at it a little closer. I took the little water jacket cover off so I could really heat up the cylinders better. And this is what I found. I'm going to shine the light in there. Hopefully you guys can see it. There's an actual piece missing out of the cylinder wall, right where my finger is, right about there. Hopefully you can see it there. And I'm losing compression through that hole in the cylinder. And I'm not 100% sure what caused it. It doesn't seem like it'd be a place to freeze. It may have heated up and became brittle. So I hate to throw these motors away or use them as parts, especially this motor. It's so nice. You can look at the coils are beautiful, good hot spark. So what I'm going to try to do, and I'm going to film this for you guys, is I'm going to attempt to get an aluminum brazing rod, and I'm going to fill in that crack and seal up this crack and see if I can get any sort of compression. I think if I can get, anywhere from 70 to 80 pounds compression, I think this cylinder will run. And this appears to be the only place that is cracked is right there. And you can actually feel the piston try to build compression, and it pops out the crack. So I think the piston is still good. And judging from this one, I'm hoping that this one is still good as well. We just have loss of compression through the top of the cylinder. So I'm going to set up the camera, and for the first time ever, I am going to braze an aluminum rod onto a hole, and then we're going to see what happens, and I'll take you guys along for the journey. It may be an epic fail, and even if it is a fail, look at the parts. You know, these old Merc guys, you need to take advantage of having parts like this, because some of this stuff is just hard to find. Even eBay's drying up. So if nothing else fails, we have a nice Tilton carburetor. We got a full mag that throws out great spark. You know, the flywheel, all the reed valves and everything else, all the, the turns, the clamps, the handle, everything that I need to work on other projects is here. So if this fails, it's not the end of the world. I just have some spare parts, but interesting to find out. So I'm going to pause the film here and then splice in when I'm ready to do the aluminum brazing. All right. All right, guys, just as a point of reference, I'm going to do a little compression test to show you how we're looking here on the cylinder. So absolutely no compression. So I'm going to set up the camera and we can try brazing this and see if we can get any compression at all. Hey guys, well, the Mercury is out of surgery and I'm doing a little post-op. What I ended up doing was I did braze the hole that was in the cylinder, and then just as a preventative kind of security, I just kind of wrapped it all in JB Weld if there's any more micro cracks. And before, when I stuck my finger on it, I felt nothing. And now as I turn it, it wants to blow my finger off, and right about here it's wanting to suck my finger in. In fact, it's so hard I can hardly turn it. So I feel real confident in this, and if I put both spark plugs in, and then I try to turn it by hand, it's very difficult. Massive amounts of compression on both cylinders. Actually, it takes me 2 hands to do it. So I think the problem's solved. I'm not going to really put it onto a compression tester and run it hard, because this needs to cure for 24 hours. It's only been curing for a couple hours, but for all intents and purposes, it seems like I have compression back in this upper cylinder. So just goes to show you, just got to dig a little deeper. This motor was way too nice to throw away. So I did build a new gasket. Let me run over and get it. Here's the, let me make sure you get it. Here's a new gasket I made. It's out of gasket material. And then here was the old one. So, you know, instead of buying these things, you can just make them yourself. And then, you know, this will go over here. And it's not a head gasket. It's kind of just for the water passages to keep the water out. So that's what I'm going to do next. I just installed a new water pump on it. And there she is, and we'll get it back together. And I'm gonna maybe try to start this up in another video. If you see it running, then we did it. I saved another one. So anyway, more to come on this one. Next video, hopefully you'll see it running.